and divorced her. The shock worsened her condition, and she ended up giving birth to a stillborn child. Complications ensued, and when her stillborn was born, her husband suddenly realized that everything had happened because of his mistake. That friend went on to say that her husband, stricken with remorse, had forced her to undergo halala with the wrestler in order to silence his own guilt. They were uneducated, rustic people who never bothered to get a proper medical checkup or verify any details. They simply went to the wrestler for halala. After that night, when the wrestler spent one night with a woman and then divorced her the next day, the complications resulted in her becoming infertile. But that woman and her husband spread the story everywhere, blaming the wrestler for her barrenness. Similar tales spread quickly. In cases where men faced infertility and could not become fathers, they would find some excuse, divorce their wives, take them to the wrestler for halala, and then claim that halala was the reason their wives had become barren. In this way, their own cowardice remained hidden, and the wrestler's reputation became tarnished. I know all this because I, too, was rendered barren. Even before our marriage, my husband knew of my condition, yet he married me anyway. We both believed that we would adopt a child. But my mother-in-law twisted that notion. She wanted her own offspring. When she made my husband's life unbearable, he, to silence his mother, once quarreled with me on a pretext and divorced me. Later, feigning remorse, he took me to that wrestler and then spread the tale that it was because of the wrestler that I had become incapable of bearing children. That silenced my mother-in-law, and she stopped hurling insults at me. But both my husband and I knew the truth. Those words shattered me. Everything my husband had done was the same. Was he also a coward? To confirm this, one day I arranged, under the guise of seeking treatment, to have my husband tested. The results confirmed it. He was indeed a coward, and he had known it all along. That is why he divorced me and forced me to undergo halala with that wrestler. I understood everything. I was deeply hurt. My husband had deceived me in the worst possible way. To hide his own flaws, he first inflicted the agony of divorce upon me, and then forced me to commit the despised act of halala. As if that weren't enough, he shamelessly defamed the wrestler while simultaneously portraying himself as doing me a favor by taking back a barren woman. I began to loathe him intensely. In that moment, I demanded a divorce from my husband and threatened him that if he did not grant me one, I would expose all his faults to everyone. He was a coward. Terrified by my words, he immediately divorced me. I resolved that I would not return to my parental home but instead live in a women's hostel. Along with that, I did one more thing. I went to the wrestler and told him everything, that he was merely being used, that there was nothing inherently wrong with him, and that he was not responsible for making women barren. I did this because the wrestler was clearly distraught and had since abandoned that business. He even sought forgiveness from Allah and, out of fear, could no longer remarry because no woman was willing to accept him. When I revealed the entire truth to him, he was very happy and said, "Allah has given me another chance. I will no longer engage in such a sinful act." I, too, found peace and soon began living in a hostel, working a job and rebuilding my life.